Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to It Starts Now, the happy hour of finance and business. I am your host. My name is Stanley. I have a special guest today. He's a financial advisor. He lost both his parents before turning 6, and yet he graduated from Morehouse College, worked for Merrill Lynch and other financial institutions, started his company, Felton Peel. He's been featured in the Wall Street Journal, CNBC, Yahoo Finance, CNN Money, Market Watch, NASDAQ, Motley Fool, Business Insider, and the list goes on. He's a guest lecturer at Morehouse College, and he dabbles in philanthropy. Please welcome Malik Lee.
Man, I appreciate it, man. That's a nice intro, man. Oh, we got the claps, man. Yeah, I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
Nah, it's all love, man. You really put in a good body of work, and I wanted to show the progression of somebody that started from the bottom is basically build up. And I think that's what you've been doing. You've been doing a good job, and I think it's important to share that.
Yeah, man. We started from the bottom, and I can't even say I'm here because I'm still trying to get there. But I think I saw Cardi B posted one time or something like that. But she said it in her song. She got knocked down 9, but got up 10 or something like that. So I've been knocked down probably more times than I've been successful. And that's why that list is the way it is, because I got knocked down so many times. So keep getting back up though. I'm gonna keep getting back up.
Yeah, but most successful people, they always say that I took more losses than wins.
I definitely agree.
Yeah, it's just the wins. People don't see the loss count; they only see the wins.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes the win overshadows the losses. Mm-hmm. Those losses are critical because those losses teaches you a lot, right?
Absolutely. I was just, you hear the accolades that I have, and we could probably keep going on. And I was just telling a colleague the other day, I said, you know what? I'm 38 years old. I was like, I never made a 40 under 40 list, and you know how many times I applied to 40 under 40 lists, but I've never been selected, and every time I look at it, I'm like, man, how am I not being chosen? Like my resume is crazy, So I'm like, it just motivates me even more. I got, some people like forget about it. I'm not applying. I keep applying like, man, y'all gonna let me in this door. So it just, I guess it's how you look at it too. It's how you look at it.
Yeah, that's true. That's how you look at it. But I got a question for you, right? Or practically for the viewers, right? For those that may not understand what a financial advisor is, can you explain what is a financial advisor and why it's important to have one?
Yeah, man, that's such a loaded question because you have a lot of the well, first of all, right, there's your insurance agents, there's your financial advisors, and then there's your financial planners, right? And a lot of people will try to interchange those or use those succinctly or say they all the same thing, and unfortunately they're not, right? So the way I look at it is, and you can ask probably 20 people in our profession, they might all give you a different answer, right? But at the end of the day, the difference between the names a lot of times separates from education and also the commission structure on how that particular advisor or planner gets paid. Insurance individuals, they're typically selling a product. They get paid all commission. Financial advisors, they're a little bit of right in between. They will get commission, but they will also do some fee-based planning or fee-only planning as well too. Your financial planners, they typically are more than likely they're more fee-based driven or fiduciary driven. And fiduciary essentially means in layman's terms is that you are putting your client's best interest ahead of yours. So it's not about how much money you make. It's not about getting a check. It's not about none of that. It's about this person coming to you for help and you providing them with the best advice, even if it means you don't make a dime on that deal. So it's not even about the money on it. It's about putting their interest first. And that's really the main factor that anybody should be looking at when they're looking at a financial planner or trying to see the difference between one of them. So looking at who stands on that fiduciary standard. So what a financial, now I'm gonna tell you what a certified financial planner does because I'm a certified financial planner. So a certified financial planner, we stand on the fiduciary standards. We put the clients first, and then we are, you can say we're that's the creme de la creme or the highest certification that you can receive in the financial planning industry. And we are considered experts in our craft, and we go through a rigorous course of different subjects. So we go through general financial planning, we go through insurance, we go through investments, we go through retirement planning, we go through estate planning, we go through tax planning. And then at the end, now they added a 7th course where we put everything together. So a financial planner is someone essentially who looks at your finances holistically, right? So we're not just about getting the check, right? We're not just about, telling you the hot stock of the day and stuff like that, because you can go ahead and make 300% return on the stock, but then how is that account titled? Or what are the taxes on it? Are you maximizing the taxes on that? Are you looking at capital gains? Are you taking that into consideration? Are you taking the HEROES Act or the CARES Act or the Secure Act that went into place and TCJA that went into place in the last 2 or 3 years? So we're looking at all of those things from that perspective, and we're making sure that the left hand is talking to the right, or that you guys are all playing together. I was telling I sat down with a coach the other day, prospective client. He's a coach, and he was having a hard time grasping on what I was trying to say. And then I was like, "Hey, coach, man, it's like the 3-man weave." And then he was like, I was like, it's a basic fundamental thing in basketball, but it teaches so many things, right? So it teaches teamwork, it teaches passing, it teaches hustle, it teaches movement, and then at the end of the day, you do what? You score, you lay it up, right? So that's financial planning, if I can put an analogy to it.
So in layman's terms, if I understand correctly, you guys are like the facilitator, more like the point guard.
We can act as the point guard, but it depends on where we at in the game. So if we are talking retirement, if we're trying to put a strategy together, I mean, like, we're the coach, we're the player, we're the superstar. We're all three when it comes to that. If we're trying to analyze the investments, we might be all three, but then it depends on what type of investments you have. Are we experts in it? That's one of the things that a fiduciary does. A fiduciary will raise their hand and say, "Listen, man, like, I don't know anything about this." Somebody called me the other day and asked me about, because it's hot right now, Forex trading. And I was like, "Listen, I'm not tight in Forex trading. I don't know where you even start to help you with that." Somebody else called me a couple of months ago about buying physical gold. I know how to buy it. I know people that sell it, but that's not my forte. That's not my expertise. So that's how we can quarterback sometimes. But at the end of the day, we're trained to know when there's a problem. We might not know how to fix it,
Mm-hmm.
We might not give you all the answers, but we can look at it and say, this is a problem. Like, we have to get somebody in and help us out with this.
Now, if I'm looking for a financial advisor, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, what should I educate myself on as far as like prior to speaking to someone like you? What should a normal person from like, because I know there's different accounts, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm just a normal person, I'm looking for retirement, or I'm just looking for advice how to prepare for retirement, um, or even strategies on how to better improve my business, right? What are the things I need to educate myself on
So educate yourself on selecting an advisor,
prior
or,
to meeting someone like you?
all right. So number one, you need to educate yourself on, you need to, first of all, make sure you're picking which type of advisor, like I mentioned earlier,
Mm-hmm.
whether you want somebody that's commission based, somebody that's like hourly, the fee structure, and then you want, hourly. Some people charge monthly now, which is a new thing. About 7% of the industry right now is charging monthly. My firm is one of them, but traditionally you had to have 250,000. When I first got into the business, you had to have $250,000 at the bare minimum to even sit down with somebody like myself, when I first got into the industry, so that is kind of changed over the years. It's technology has kind of opened up that door a little bit. And as the industry comes more into a career versus like a CPA track or an attorney track, we're more geared, we're more trying to build that for our industry versus some guys that's just knows how to can make you some quick buck and things of that nature. So we're trying to build more career path and within the industry. But they also need to look at a lot of it's personality.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of it's fee structure, it's personality, and then so it's fee structure, personality, and then also the niche, like what is your concern? Does that is that planner stronger in one area than the other? Because there's certain planners, because you're not going to be we tout ourselves as jacks of all trades, but let's be honest, like you can't be tight in everything,
No,
right?
you can't.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can't be tight in everything. So even take myself for example. I have 3 certifications in total. So I have my certified financial planning certification. I'm a certified advisor in philanthropy, and then I'm also an accredited portfolio management advisor. So I, even once I got my CFP, I went back to the lab to hone my skills in other categories, in other sections that involve financial planning. So I'm stronger in, me personally, I'm stronger in taxes. I'm stronger in insurance. I'm stronger in investments. I'm stronger in debt and real estate and mortgages and debt, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So those are the areas that I'm just naturally stronger in. Those are areas that I naturally, and philanthropy, I naturally gravitate to those categories. You might have some others that are much stronger in picking individual stocks than I am. They'll break down of all these technical jargons and do all these things for you and make your head spin with formulas,
Right.
and so every planner is stronger in certain areas than others. Matter of fact, about 20% of my prospects this year came from other planners. Other planners saying, hey, Malik is stronger at this than I am. I'm gonna give you Malik's number, and then
Yeah.
and vice versa. So now our industry it's not there yet, but it's going to a path where it's going to, once again, like the law industry,
Mm-hmm.
where you have lawyers that do bankruptcies and
Mm-hmm.
divorces. You have lawyers that do civil rights, and they
Mm-hmm.
don't do criminal. So it's kind of, and if you ask them about other areas, they're going to tell you, nah, like I can't. If you got a charge, you need to call this person. You don't want me in
Yeah, you
there.
want to get a
Like,
criminal lawyer versus
yeah,
in right.
correct.
Yeah.
So our industry is slowly moving towards that direction.
Why did you choose this industry?
I I was always fascinated with the stock market.
Hmm.
I remember um, my uncle came in one day. He always had the nice whips, always had the nice car. He lived out in Long Island, out like near the Hamptons. So I never been out there, not at this time yet, but but then I started staying in his house every summer after that.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, can I come out there and see you, man? So he stayed out there in the Hamptons in New York, like near there, probably like 30 minutes away,
Mhm.
but he was very close to like the Hamptons. And like um he used to come in real fly, suspenders and everything, and he used to always talk money. And they used to be like, Uncle Larry, man, he handles money. That's what he does. He handles money. So I took that as he was a stockbroker. He was in stocks. As
Mhm.
I got older, I realized he was an accountant, but but I was like, man, I want to be like him. I want to be like him.
Yeah.
So I actually went to a I went to a school that specialized, high school magnet program that specialized in like business. It was one of the things. So because at the time I wanted to be an accountant,
Mhm.
and so I took accountant 1 and 2 in high school, and I did real good in it because I was just naturally gifted with numbers. Even on like SAT, like back when SAT was 1600, I think I got like a 700 on math, and I got like a 100 on reading. I bombed the reading, but I got like an 800. But I killed math though. Math, I
Yeah.
destroyed it. I
Right.
destroyed it. But yeah, so I went to so when I got to college though, as you mentioned earlier, I went to Morehouse College. So as I got to Morehouse, and man, like that our business school at Morehouse was one of the best in the country. Harvard comes down every year, every semester to recruit for my business school. Like
No, I
they're
didn't know
coming to
that.
they're coming to recruit. Like it was top notch. Goldman Sachs, J.P. Morgan, Credit Suisse. Before the financial crisis, they
Mhm.
were coming to Morehouse. They wanted diverse candidates. They were coming to Morehouse. We had people, interns, making $2,000 a week during summer internships, back in 2001,
Wow.
2000, 2001, 2002. So then I'm sitting here like, man, these guys making all this money with Wall Street. And then I started to inquire more about the careers in accounting and realize I wasn't talking with people, right? So accounting, they did a lot with numbers, it's a lot of data entry, and then whereas I'm looking at the financial industry and everybody's more interactive, it's more team meeting, you're dealing with the market, and then as you learn more and more and more about the market, you realize that is everything is done, but everything comes from the market, like has his hand in every single thing. I speak to clients that have pensions. Let's take New York, for example, right? So
Yeah.
you got New York State, huge pensions. Everybody's, oh, I'm going to get a government job, and then because they got a pension, I don't got to worry about a 401k, stuff like that, whoop de whoop. And then look, like pension is backed. Like they back your pension with options and bonds and things in the market, So if they don't count that and the market takes a big dive, which you saw in 2008, that's why so many pensions are going away today, is because it's backed by the market. Everything we do is backed by the market. Any which way you look at it, name it, I could probably tell you how it funnels its way back to the stock market. So when I realized that it controlled the world, and if you can realize the stock market, you will have a lot of knowledge. That's what kind of drove me it was really the knowledge. It wasn't really the money per se.
Mhm.
It was more so the knowledge, and then I learned more about the money as I got into my junior senior year of college.
Wow. I didn't really look at it that way, right? Like everything funnels back to the stock market. That's interesting.
Every single thing. Name it, I
Yeah,
can tell you. Every single
yeah,
thing funnels back to it. Like all even these companies like now, like some of the things that they're doing, Walmart just came up with a Amazon type feature now. So
yeah.
you pay 27 bucks
Hmm.
a year, or whatever how much the amount is.
Yeah, to they trying to rival with the prime.
Yeah, you know what? You know
Mm.
what? They're doing that because they have to drum up sales. Somebody like Chick-fil-A never entered New York, right? Until what, a couple of years ago?
Hmm.
They never entered New York. And then I would ask them why. You know, I'm based here in Atlanta. So I would ask them why. They were like, man, New York costs too much. It messes with our profit margins. And they didn't have to show that they didn't have to show shareholders that they're increasing profit margins.
Hmm.
Once you have a private company and you happy with the revenue that you're making, oh well,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
it's it. Like if you're happy with making $300,000 a year or $800,000 a year from your business, you don't have to go out and try to drum up new revenue streams, revenue sources, and improve profits and things of that nature because you don't have to answer to anybody. And so even these companies that are more conservative in nature, if they're public, you know, they're doing things to increase their earnings per share, which is going to increase the dividends, which is going to, you know, increase the share price. And that's why they're making that decision. You know, like everything funnels back to that.
Yeah, that's crazy. Now, uh, there's a lot we could talk about it when it comes to that right there because uh, there's so many questions I got right now, but I'll leave it for another time.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, because then we could sit on this forever.
yeah.
Um, the other thing I wanted to know, like, with all that knowledge and then having out there to recruit or getting all these referrals from different financial advisors, like, what's the difference between being a financial advisor and being a financial advisor that's running an operation?
Oh, so are you referring to what's the difference between being a financial planner that works for a company versus one that
Correct.
owns
Like
and
for yourself, like for
owns.
example, yourself, um, you actually are a financial planner, but then you also run an operation. Like, what are
Yeah.
what's the difference and what are some of the challenges?
Oh man, it's a big difference. It's a big difference. So you are if you're working for a firm, right? Most of the times, I would say probably about 50-60% of the industry, maybe 50 to 70,
Mm-hmm.
it's still commission based, right? Somewhere in between there. I don't know the exact number, but I will venture out to say it's somewhere around there. That's commission based. So when you are commission based, or you eat what you kill base, you know.
Right.
But so if you are working for a company, you don't have to worry about, to your point, all of the business things that come with running a business,
Mm-hmm.
such as, you know, your accounting, your bookkeeping, your marketing, your websites, hiring and firing, compliance. Our industry is heavily regulated. You know, you can Google me. Like I can't lie to nobody. I can't even rename my little thing here to add some more certifications behind my name. So all you gotta do is Google me, and you'll be like, man, that dude was lying. You know? So I can't even sit here and lie to you and say, hey, you know, I run $1 billion practice, you know, because you can Google it and look it up. It's public knowledge. Everything about me is public, and anybody in this industry is public, and it's an open book. So a lot of that comes with, that's a lot of time outside of doing what you got into this business to do, or doing what you got in this business for, which
Mm-hmm.
is either to analyze the market or analyze finances, or meet
Mm-hmm.
with clients and talk to clients and help clients get through their tough financial times. Like that is what you got in here for. When you're working for a firm, they handle a lot of those other things for you, but then they take a haircut, right? And that
Yeah.
haircut can be anywhere from 5 to 40%. Places like Merrill Lynch and stuff like that, they take upwards to 40 to 45%, of what you bring in. But you got the Merrill Lynch name behind you, so some people, they really, really like that name. I think when I first started in this industry, that name mattered. Like, having that name behind you mattered. Nowadays, it's not really about that. It's about, are you good? Do you do good work? And I think it kind of moved more towards that. But the major difference between working for a company, some of them, your 30% of your people, they'll give you a salary. The other 70, they're not giving you a salary, but they're taking off the load. They're taking a load off your shoulders of staying up with technology. Like, for example, we were using Zoom since 2017, 2018. We immersed Zoom into our practice. The other advisors working at these other companies, they probably didn't have to worry about that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I had to think about, all right, where's this going? Like, a great analogy that I like is with Wayne Gretzky. They was like, Wayne, how are you so good? And then he was like, man, he said, I skate to where the puck is going, not where the puck is.
Right.
And as a business owner, that's what you gotta skate to. You gotta skate to where the puck is going. And some people just don't have that. That's not in there. That's not in them.
That's not part of their DNA.
Yeah, it's not part of their DNA. Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's interesting because speaking of DNA, you had some hardships early in life, right? You lost both your parents before you turned 6. How were you able to get that drive like that you have now? Mm-hmm. Was there any setbacks?
Yeah, so I tell people all the time, I said, 2 things happens in life. And when you get those challenges, like you either, unfortunately, like, you immerse yourself in it, so if it's a drinking problem that your family has, or a drug problem, gambling problem, being heavily educated, like, unfortunately, that you and it just gets embedded into you, and somebody has to break that generational curse, if you will, right?
Yeah.
The other thing is that you have the second group of people who are like way extreme to the left, like their parents had drinking problems or drug problems, and they never touched those things ever because it ruined their family, and they're just so mad at the world from those traumatic events. Mm-hmm. And so I said that's a decision that everybody kind of has to make in their life. And I was the latter, so I was the person that used a lot of the things that happened and was like, that's not going to be me, mm-hmm. And I don't want that to be me. And so that's really what drives me. And I want to change a lot of things, not only for me, but for my family. And even when I get to a point that I might hit a personal goal, because my personal goal is to have a $1 billion firm. Mm-hmm. That's my personal goal. But even when I hit there, I have dreams about that might not even be enough, right? Because if I want to impact the kind of change that I want to impact, I might need more than $1 billion on assets under management, to be able to do it. So like, I kind of use that drive to kind of just use those occurrences to kind of just be like, this is why these things are happening. These are why these things are happening. And I don't want them to happen to me or my kids, but Not everybody chooses that route, and I don't blame them if they don't. Like, I don't knock them if they do. It's tough,
Mm-hmm.
because I tell people all the time, like, it's, when people say, "Oh man, I'm doing this, Malik, and you doing that," I'm like, we just didn't get caught, like that's the only difference between me and you is that I lucked up, and I can't even say it was good. I just, we just all lucked up.
Yeah.
We all did stuff. Like, I almost got kicked out of Morehouse the first 3 weeks I was in Morehouse.
Really? I didn't know that.
Man, you somebody coming from Jamaica, Queens, New York, the worst high school in Queens,
Mm-hmm.
and you put me in Atlanta, while Atlanta in '99 when everything was popping. Man, we didn't know what to do, and we was away from our guardians. Man, we didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
I was in the principal's office, the dean's office, the first week, the second week, officially the second week, but it was the first week we were by ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
The first week we got there, and Morehouse has a big orientation. Morehouse, they do this whole fanfare, like changing of the guard, walking into manhood, stuff like that. Beautiful, man. I still go back every year for it, man. Gets me riled, gets me hyped up. And then the very next day, we was at the strip, man. We saw Mace. We saw like all these dudes out there on the strip. And we out there chasing girls. And the next thing you know, 4 days later, I'm in the dean's office, and they like, man, we told you to be at this meeting. We about to send you home. We're calling your parents right now to come pick you back up. If I'm in the office with like 5 of my boys, and then I'm like, oh man, she just paid we just paid the money. What happened to the money? Man, dude, I'm telling you, man. So I tell people all the time, it's it's all about second chances and breaks. I remember I was a little short because I paid for school. I paid, my family helped me. Morehouse College was $21,000 in 1999, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't have enough to finish school, right? So when I got to school, I worked 3 jobs my first semester there, and that's why I was wilding a little bit in the beginning, because I knew that I got to get a job in like 3 weeks as soon as school starts. So I wasn't. This is the only fun that I was going to have.
Yeah.
So I got a. So they was able to pay for my room and board. I paid $13,000 with loans in the first year, and then my family gave me like 8 or 9, and they was like, "Listen, you need to take your butt to one of these community colleges because we don't have enough money to send you to Morehouse." And I was like, man, I want to go, like, because college tour, I suggest everybody go on the college tour. You take your kids on the college tour, it would change their perspective on life when they go. And so I wasn't even thinking about college until I went on that tour. I was going to get a job. I was going to start working and grinding right out of high school. And I went on that college tour, and then that's when everything changed. That's when everything changed from there. So
what I like about the whole story is, one of them, you made an effort to break that change, right? That generational chain hold that a lot of from passed down from family to family, right? So you were able to break that chain. And then the other thing is, you were able to go to college to see how a tour can have an impact on somebody's direction in life, right? That littlest thing can have a direction in whether you move forward or whether you go the opposite end. And I think that's key. And like you said,
no idea what Morehouse College was before the tour.
See?
Not one clue. And I went to that tour in March of '99, and I applied the day I got back. I applied while I was there. While I was there on the tour.
That's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of looking at things from all it takes is just that one thing to just change your direction around. And like you said, if it's anybody's listening out there, if you take your kids to a college tour, that would change their perspective. And that's very important, because I didn't even think about college at all either. And to be honest, it was I was in, I believe, 10th grade or 11th grade, something like that. And few of my friends, because I had older friends, they graduated and went to Howard University.
Hmm.
And when I went down to Howard, I had such a great time, homecoming and
Yep.
the
Yep.
whole experience. I had such a great time that I came back and I really made an effort to change my grades around just because I wanted to go.
Yeah.
Because my grades was
Yeah.
horrific.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it was like horrific. And then I took so many courses just to try to turn it around, just so I could make it to. I mean, by then it was already too late. It wasn't really too late. I could have made the effort and went to a community college, made that same effort, and then transferred. But at that time, I was devastated because I was like, "Dad, I really worked hard. I took some extra classes. I did everything to turn it around." But but that, like you said, that one experience could change your whole life.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
yeah.
It was too late for me too. The only thing that saved me was because, my grandmother had me in the church, so I was well connected. I went down there with like I said, like an 800 SAT score. My GPA was like a 80 average. So, but I was on varsity. I was on JV basketball, varsity football, varsity baseball, and then I volunteered at the church that I went to, which was a powerful church. So I knew the congressman of New York. I knew the
Mm-hmm.
senator of New York. I was there with the assembly woman of New York. And like and then they all had letters for me. They all vouched for me, and they was like, yeah, this dude got an 800, but he was like, don't worry about that. They was like, don't worry about that.
Big.
Like, yo, you want him in your school. If this is where he wants to go, you want him in his school. He has the most initiative out of everybody. He's a leader. I don't even know
Yeah.
why he got that stuff.
Yeah.
And it was because I didn't even study for the SAT. I just went in there and just took it. You know.
Now, can I ask you a question? Was that like that background, is it part of the reason why now you're more active in like
Oh,
volunteering and in
oh yeah,
philanthropy and
absolutely.
thing like that? Because
Oh,
it was
absolutely.
innate in your background, right?
Oh, absolutely, man. Like I was raised by my grandmother, so she already raised her 4 kids. By the time she took me over, by the time she took me over, she was what, 57, 58.
Mm-hmm.
So she was already a little older by the time she got me at 6 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So she had to lean on people. She needed help, so because she's working a full-time job, she has other things she has to do. And here I come in when she's like almost 60.
Yeah.
So the village definitely raised me. Like I had people that I ate at my house maybe once or twice a week, and I was eating at everybody else's house. Even to this day, people's mothers call me, "Hey Malik, yo, what you doing? You eating good and stuff like that." Even to this day, even to this day, like people, I go to their house now. I go home and I visit some of my friends' mothers, and they feed me. They treat me like a son, So that was one of the biggest, like that to me. Without that, and without the assemblywoman like vouching for me, she literally vouched for me.
Right,
So
right.
without her vouching for me and putting her name out there, like I wouldn't be nowhere near where I'm at today. So that's why I try to give back. I haven't made the announcement yet. I guess I'll make it here with you. But one of the things, like, I'm very active with Morehouse now too, because I think that was one of the best decisions I ever made in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And about 3 months ago, I made a $250,000 gift to Morehouse, playing gift, so to Morehouse college. So
That's
that was,
big.
yeah, man. So that was one of the things that I wanted to do, and that's only the beginning, hopefully.
Yeah, yeah. No, more to come, man. I know it's more to come.
Yeah.
Well, Malik, it's been great, man. I didn't realize that time was flying.
Yeah.
I definitely appreciate you coming on the show. I know you had a call prior to this, and I know you're busy afterwards. So I appreciate any final thoughts you want to share with people?
Yeah, I know right now there's a lot of noise out there financially. There's a couple of things that you guys want to do. You know, you want to save. I know people throw out a lot of different crazy returns and things of that nature, but you know, don't go chasing the returns, and then save as much as you can, and save efficiently. You know, make sure that you're maximizing your 401ks. You're doing things of that nature. You're seeking help in areas that you need help, and you know, the little things like that will definitely get you there. You know, so as I guess I will leave the people with
that. One final thing, where if the viewers wanted to get in contact with you, what's the best place to get in contact with you?
I'm everywhere. You know, you could just put my name into Google and everything will pop up. All my articles that I wrote, my website, my Facebook page, my LinkedIn, my Twitter. I guess I'm most active. I'm most active on LinkedIn. I'm on all platforms, but I'm most active on LinkedIn and Instagram is the two most active ones that I use. But I try to use all of them. But you know, I like to control my content. I don't want to pay people to control it. Mm-hmm. I want my voice to be my voice. So I do it myself, and that's hence why it's not as consistent. But I'm still working on giving that up. I got to find the right person to give that up to. But so that's a good way. Also, our website is feltonandpeel.com. So that's FELTON, the word and A-N-D, and then Peel, that's PEEL.com. And all of my content is on there, everything that I've quoted on and things of that nature. I write 2 or 3 times a month for the Business Insider. I'm a columnist for the Better Investing magazine. So I do a lot of writing, a lot of blogging, and a lot of the writing that I do is research based. So we research everything that I write, and so to make sure that we're giving you good, clean content.
That's good. Well, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Malik. Really appreciate it. One final thought from me. I just want to thank everybody that tuned in to listen. I appreciate you taking the time. We on Instagram _it_starts_now. And we also on the YouTube. Please check us out. Thank you and have a good evening.